He's already fired up.
Hey, how's everybody doing, man? We're back with another episode with the crew, Doom, Crypto, and we got a special guest today, Tired Hobo, aka Jacob. What's going on, man? How's everybody doing?
Chilling, man.
Fantastic.
So what's on your guys' mind, Jacob? You start us off, man. What do you
specifically for me? I guess we start off with the Marvel Masterpieces stuff. You know, we got the character list and seeing the whole character list. It looks like it's going to be a really good set if it's affordable. You know, so
yeah, that was a big reveal. What was that last week? When that happened?
A few days back. Well, there was the live, but then on Dan's Patreon,
dropped the list.
He dropped the whole list. Yeah. So
yeah. That was big. For me lately. Oh yeah, I gotta show some. I bought, Ninja Turtle. We talked about this, Sergio. I'm in Ninja Turtles vibes,
Yeah.
I had to order some groceries, dog, and then I saw some Ninja Turtle stuff. Like, yo, I need a copy, so I got me that cereal. You know what I'm saying? That cereal. I got to hold this in the closet for a while. It just takes me back to when we were kids and see new shit, dog.
What was it like? Like, does it have like little marshmallows or what? Like, what type of cereal are we talking about?
It's got the little,
come on,
turtle heads.
That's classic.
I will say though, I'm gonna review it because the taste. If you like Apple Jacks, maybe. It's got apple cinnamon vibes. Not the greatest, but buy one, slowly take it apart, stick it in your closet, collectible.
Yeah. Gonna have to get PSA to slab that, put on your wall.
I could, maybe. But no.
That reminds me of a few years ago when everybody was buying up all those fucking cereals because of Pokemon cards, the promos.
Oh yeah, there was like
the General Mills.
At least you get like a card though,
Yeah.
No, there's been a couple. There's been a couple of cereal releases that are like collectible.
There was a Mario one, right? Not too long ago. I think there was a Mario one that came out.
Yeah, speaking of that, shout out to Alonso. I was listening to the interview he did with Back in the Game, and one of the things he mentioned that we never touched on, but we've always known, because at least me and Doom and Sergio, being Hispanic, is that in the Latin countries they do a lot of promos where you have to collect bottle caps or like a little thing inside the chips, and then stack that and then redeem it for something. So yeah, that reminded me of that too. That's dope, man.
I always wonder if like those foreign kind of like little things like that, if those are like licensed, like how does it work? Like who's printing these? Yeah,
I think so.
Well, there's international licensing, right? Is different.
Yeah.
So a lot of time that stuff is usually licensed, but not always.
But sometimes some stuff is like some stuff is like in between.
Yeah. It's hard to know.
You have some bootleg looking stuff for sure.
And you have some crossover because there's promos, by the way, that they'll have them from Frito-Lay promo, but then in Mexico it's the Sabritas.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but like I thought I heard something recently that like Disney 300 set or whatever that people were ripping, that card set. I feel like I was hearing that wasn't officially licensed or something like that recently, and people were all upset about that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm correct on that. I could be wrong, but.
I don't know too much about that set. I know did they have like their own like website release, and like some of those rare cards were like already pulled before they got to the States. I remember that part, but I don't know too much on it.
Yeah, that's hard to know. I mean,
hey Jacob, me and you, we always talk about like with Sergio and Doom, it's mainly we dig and we talk about collectibles, but you more than anyone I know for sure, and maybe Obi. Shout out to Obi. We talk about pricing a lot. What do you think about that one-of-one Lord of the Rings card that was pulled?
Oh, what do I think about that?
With the $3 million bounty, assuming.
Wait, what was it? 3 million now? I knew it was up to 2. I knew it was up to 2.
Assuming it was 3 that it was paid for, how do you rationalize that?
The price?
Yeah,
somebody has too much money and they're fucking stupid, and they want to have the first one-of-one card. That's the only thing I could like. There is no actual like rationale behind that. You know what I mean?
Well, my point is, what do you think you would have valued it at? What do you think is the true value, not versus what people are willing to pay?
I mean, that's so hard to say because if you ever dip your toes into like the high-end collectibles market, period, whether it's art, whether it's like, Alpha Black Lotuses for Magic, whether it's, one-of-one sports cards, whatever, like shit's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay, right?
But
to me, that card might be 50K, but to somebody else who has 100 million in the bank, it might be worth 3 million. You know what I mean? So
and that's what I was telling Doom earlier. We had a conversation privately, and I was telling him like, I don't know what it's worth, but I will say that if I'm a Magic the Gathering collector, I would obviously rather have a Black Alpha Lotus, right, than a one of one Lord of the Rings card.
Well, I think the big thing was it kind of hit two markets, right? It's Magic the Gathering collectors and it's Lord of the Rings collectors, right? So like,
do you think Lord of the Rings collectors? Speaking of that, do you think they have a bigger collector base than say Game of Thrones?
I would think so.
Oh,
I mean, it's been around way longer, right? I mean, it's been like out there in the media for longer, right?
Now, compared to Star Wars, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would think Star Wars is bigger, right?
That makes sense then, because Arthur has always told us, right, that people pay crazy money for the Game of Thrones sketches. So if Lord of the Rings is even bigger, then maybe
I mean, there's all kinds of Lord of the Rings like sets with sketches and cards as well that I think Cryptozoic puts out. I think.
Cryptozoic just dropped.
Yeah, so I mean, people go hard on those boxes too. So
yeah, the sketches on those are mainly like the big attraction.
Yeah, and I feel like speaking of sketch artists, I feel like they don't pull any punches, and they have some fucking really nice sketch artists.
The quality on those are always like top tier.
Like yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some misses, but a lot of those are way nice. So,
and going back to the checklist on the new are all the banned characters back from what you guys have heard so far? Meaning, like, is Nightcrawler back? No,
I believe
not yet. No, Nightcrawler's no. He literally said on his interview that Nightcrawler was still banned, and then Punisher he had done, and it got banned while he was painting it.
Yeah.
And then who else did he say? I think Gambit was still banned or something like that.
Not Gambit. I remember Nightcrawler and Punisher.
Yeah, it was Nightcrawler and Punisher. No, Gambit wasn't banned because Gambit was an X-Men Metal, so he couldn't be banned. Or maybe he got rebanned. I don't know. So.
Okay. Well, if it's rebanned, then that makes it easier.
No, I thought Gambit was in the checklist though.
Is he?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't see him there. Oh, he is. He's on the. It's probably the holofoil set. You're right. Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, if it's not like the first
or canvas. It might be canvas, but yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
No, you're right. You're right.
Sergio, are you gonna go after Doom hard on this new set?
Well, first you got to see what it looks like. That's like number one, and like it just depends on what it looks like, what it is, and at the end of the day, man, like what I have, like as far as cards, I'm pretty like chill with,
Yeah. But if you like the art, are you going after it hard or not?
If it's dope, yeah.
Fortunately, there's only one Doom card, and it's the Battle Spectra. So like,
yeah,
you'll be able to get the base for like next to nothing, right? And then the numbered ones is like if you want to get all the parallels and rainbow it, at least you're only chasing one card. You know what I mean?
No, like Doom cards usually have like hold a little premium, over some other cards. So, like buying it right now, it would just be like crazy because if you release today and like someone like snags it, like the first cards would be like, oh, like 2K, 3K, like some crazy,
Yeah.
So if that's what it's gonna be, I'd rather just like wait because it'll come.
I could see the 1-of-1 version if the red parallel we've seen, if that is a 1-of-1 version, I could see that doing 2 or 3K. I don't think like the auto version or like the 99 version does that much. You know what I mean? I would hope not.
I don't know, man. Like,
I mean, people are crazy, right? So
I would apply the same movement that Spider-Man Metal did, at least as a base of just forecasting. It could be crazier.
Do you think we'll have a bunch of collectors from other hobbies, whether it's sports cards or whatever? Do you think we'll have a bunch of new collectors coming in just for MM specifically, and that's going to drive the prices up?
Whatnot is going to be crazy.
Well, there's a lot of some of these sports guys that even like follow us, like some of us, and show love, and like they don't really post a lot of Marvel stuff. They're posting like hockey and like other random sports. So one of these guys posts like bowling cards. I'm just like, sweet dude, like that's that's what you're going for.
Oh, yeah.
I love it for you. But but then like like low key they have some crazy Marvel cards,
Yeah.
And nobody knows because they don't really like post, but they have them.
Yeah. Lately I've been getting followed by some sports guys, and I'm like, why the fuck are you following me? Like, I just got Marvel shit. Like, it definitely feels like they're lying in the weeds.
They're plotting to buy all the boxes and cases up. That's what they're gonna do.
It feels like it for sure.
So. Yeah, it's either you got a lot of like closeted collectors, Marvel collectors, that either they only show their sports because that's mainly what they sell. So they're sellers and they don't show PC. which could be the case. But then again, I don't know. I feel like it's funner to see, like for me at least, when people follow me, if I follow them, it's because they have to have Marvel personally. I can't follow if you only do sports because I just don't collect sports. So you might have a great collection, but since I'm not really well versed in sports, I don't really know. I know numbers. You know what I mean? It's a numbered card, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't get a follow back if you don't have some Marvel shit.
But that's the thing too. I mean, I'll give you a follow back, like whatever, because there's some of these sports guys show a lot of love, and obviously like they like Marvel cards. They just don't post it. So, and some of them got some crazy stuff, man. Some stuff that doesn't get shown ever because they don't post it online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to know them, and they kind of show you sometimes, like a couple things here and there, and you're like, yeah, there's no comp on that, like that. I don't know where he pulled that, but he has it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting how what happens. I mean, it's just gonna I'm just waiting. I just want to see the actual checklist. I want to see what the numbered stuff is gonna line up.
Yeah, if they add a bunch of numbers to like the base as well.
Yeah, and then just see like what parallels are gonna do what, and then first day is gonna be crazy. So the only advantage Marvel people who follow the hobby is just to get on that pre-order right away if you find it.
So do you think, like, let's say hypothetically the boxes hit EPAC at like $900 a box, something crazy?
I'm not touching it
at that price. But on that note, do you think that there will be enough people who are willing to spend that kind of money on EPAC that it still sells out rather quickly?
Yeah.
Listen, if there's if there's a Spider-Man, 101, we all know who's going for that. So
yeah,
if there's any Spider-Man 101 in the trip,
it sounds like you want to shout someone out. Who do you want to shout out, seriously? You want to shout out Eugene?
Yeah, shout out to Rare Hair, man. Shout out to Rare Hair Collection.
Yeah,
I mean, Masterpiece. Look, people who collect Masterpiece have been waiting how many years?
Yeah, but they also were opening boxes for $250 for the last set, or $300, whatever.
I don't know. A lot of those guys have money to buy like original paintings. Like they don't play. When that comes out, that's what they do. That's all they focus on.
Going from $250 or $300 a box to like $800, $900 a box, and it's like all of a sudden, if you want anything, it costs 3 times as much. Like that's hard to stomach even for people.
We saw happen with Spider-Man Metal, man.
Look,
true.
It happens with everything, right? Because it happened with Spider-Man Metal. It happened with X-Men Metal when it came out. Like it happens obviously with every like box release because people want certain cards. They want to lock it down as soon as possible. But like I said, 2 years in and like a dip later, people picking up some cheap cards right now.
Well, what's funny is even the sealed product is cheap now. Like you can get Flare Ultra Avengers and Spider-Man Metal for like less than the pre-orders. Some of the time. I don't know about Spider-Man Metal, but Flare Ultra Avengers for sure. So,
yeah, Flare Ultra Avengers went down. Spider-Man Metal has gone down like what, $300 a box, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, and I mean, on release they were doing what,
700?
Were they 700?
At one point they were like 700 plus.
That's crazy.
I also hope more than anything, man, especially Upper Deck, if with the new releases like the Avengers, like you guys mentioned, and Spidey Metal, like improve your QC, man. Because even on some of these Fleer Avenger cards, like they're all chipped in the back. You're lucky to get a 9 on those cards. It's just like, I know whoever's going to go after them, they might not care about the grade, like the hardcore collectors. But to the point earlier that you guys were talking about, all these sports people that are going to dabble into it or, roll the dice on the new Masterpieces set, they're heavy on grading. So we're going to see a bunch of 6s and 7s.
That card stock is always tough to get in a high grade anyway. So, like, I don't know.
That doesn't mean they can't improve on it, though. You know what I mean? That's like,
but like,
pass,
after how many times of evidence do you need, like, to see what's gonna happen?
What do we think about sketch cards being like rarer than case hits, assuming that information we have is correct?
I hope they're better quality, right? Like if you're gonna be like one.
They better be bangers, bro.
If you're gonna get 1 every 2 cases, or like 2 every 2, like, yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't want to be opening up some shit that looks like some fucking chicken scratches. They better all be like crazy. You know what I mean? Like, better be better than something I can draw. That's all I'm saying.
Especially being like a premium set,
Yo, Jacob, you gotta show us some of your drawings, man.
Yeah, no, I don't need to because we all know when I say it better be better than what I can do, that the bar is pretty fucking low. You know
I mean, I just want to see if you've improved. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't drawn shit since that last one. You guys embarrassed me into retirement. So.
I did. Shout out to Arthur. Arthur was the one
shout out to
who embarrassed you into retirement. I was just, just going along.
No, but
actually,
keep at him, man.
Dan talking about his that art website that just has tons of free content on there to improve your art and like learn new skills and techniques and trying to get better. It actually has really made me want to like sit down, watch a bunch of videos, and try to improve. But there's almost like so much material on there. It's like, fuck, where do I start? You know?
Yeah, and for those who don't know, because it is an inside joke, Jacob drew a portrait of Sergio's cat. So
Sergio's cat, yeah, totally.
Nah, he just shared with us a drawing of a cat. No,
that was after the Bianchi trip, the infamous Bianchi trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All of a sudden, I know. Yeah. All of a sudden,
look,
it was a fucking
we have
art guy.
We have 2 Bianchi trips right here. Like what is it about when you guys see? Obviously you get to talk to the guy, and it's got to be a special moment, right? Like. Even Sergio came back doing watercolors. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
He did. Yo, the Batman stuff. Come on, dog. Yo, shout out to Alonzo. I was talking to him. Everybody starting to paint, and you know which one caught me off guard? Off-White Tim, dog. Like,
yeah, they were pretty nice. I mean, for somebody that I'd seen no art from, I was definitely surprised.
Like Elusive, we gotta get to it,
Yeah,
we talk about bullshit. Like we gotta get to it because we gotta represent.
We're gonna start a little contest. I've been wanting to do some giveaways, so I'll definitely be giving away some some rubies or something to the winner. But I think we should do a little just collectors that are not artists for a living. So obviously you're not. If you're an artist, obviously, you're better than us.
Yeah, Dune's excluded. That man's already he should be getting paid for his art.
But I haven't done anything in years. You know, I need to get back.
I will say, dude, I was better when I was 14 than I am now. I'm really
me too.
bad.
Yeah, me too. Because we haven't kept up.
Yeah, we haven't drawn anything. Literally, when I showed you guys that one picture, that was the first thing I'd drawn in 10 years. You know what I mean? So yeah it was rough for sure.
But at least you guys are trying. Yeah, Elusive, we gotta get to it though.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, man. We're gonna think about it and set up the rules, but it definitely has to be something that it has to be something uniform. That way it could be critiqued, because it's according to a lot of people, it's hard to critique art. But if everybody's drawing the same thing, it's pretty clear who did.
Well, I'm gonna put it out there because I've told people shout out to Retro and True Blue, everybody who helped out Mental Con. Next one, I'm gonna definitely have a piece there, maybe a couple. We'll see. I'm definitely want to do some charcoal again, and then we'll auction it off for sure. So next year, I definitely want to show some stuff.
That's how
that'll be the motivation. And Elusive's gonna match anything I do. So if I do a couple, he's got to match them.
Yeah. And Elusive, to your point, when you said what's going on with you meet an artist and all of a sudden you're trying to draw stuff. I'll say when I met Bianchi, it was there's no starstruck stuff about it, because I guess I just never really act that way around anyone. But he's just very down to earth, very humble, and just the way he talks is he just feels like another person that's super approachable, and you can talk to him about the hobby and whatever. And he just seemed very 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 humble, and that was just the best thing about him. It felt like I was talking to somebody who, even at his level, he struggles some days to think that what he's doing is good. You know what I mean? He told us at the meetup, he said, sometimes I feel like I'm, Da Vinci, and other times I'm just poop or whatever, he's like, some days I feel great, sometimes I feel bad. So even at that level, somebody with, that amount of skill
still has doubts.
Still questions themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool to hear, dude. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. Sergio, what's going on?
And it's just, to the point, when you say you meet some of these guys, sometimes you meet them and you guys have a good combo and you click, and it's just it's just a good connection, and you guys talk about some cool stuff, and you hear stories that you don't really get to hear anywhere really, because he's not really talking about that. He's just going to talk to you about whatever topic they ask him about and whatever interview. Yeah. So that story that I told you guys that he shared about Secret Wars and where he was, John Beatty, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
He was a struggling barely 20-year-old, like, you know, barely making it. And then like now it's just like such an iconic cover. Like, who would have thought, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool to hear. It's cool to hear because, you know, obviously we know that, you know, some of these artists don't get what they deserve, you know?
Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead, Jim.
I was gonna say, I almost feel like currently there's like this like revival of art enthusiasts and people who appreciate art. And when it only takes 10 minutes on Instagram to see that there is so many like highly talented artists. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see that at least some of them are starting to get recognition now. More so than they would have in the past anyway.
Especially now with like, you know, Instagram, like, you know, some people have like different niches, you know? Mm-hmm. But I can't remember. There's a name. His name is like Roby something. Like I've sent you guys like a couple photos, but he does like the pencil sketches.
Oh yeah.
And that guy's sick, man. That guy's super sick. You know, shout out to him because
he does the portraits.
Yeah, and he's not like any big name, but like his work is legit.
And it's all graphite. Yeah, it's dope.
Have you guys seen too? Again, and I'll have to look it up for the shout out to Dan, but the guy who he drops like some coffee on the drawing before he finishes.
I've seen that a few times. I don't know if it's the same artist, but yeah.
Cool.
And then they can even like they even almost like outlines the coffee splash or whatever as part of the art. Yeah, it looks dope as well. I love that.
I saw that.
I thought that was pretty dope. I've also seen a guy who like does he frames the artwork, but he incorporates the way he frames it with the artwork. So he has one where like the frame is like falling apart and the guy in the frame is like holding
it up.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's dope.
It's things you just don't, you know, most people don't see or think about.
So creating a little niche in the market for themselves.
Yeah.
Unique style.
I think that's why, going back to masterpiece, I think that's the most important thing. Like, it's no gimmicks. It's just all new paintings, all new, you know. You put it all out there, the painter, whoever he is going to get critiqued, right? Like you're dealing with iconic shit. So,
and I don't know if I mentioned this before. You guys all know this privately, but like one of the things that it's always for me, I've never understood is, you know, because early on I've always been pretty vocal about like the art that I like versus the one that I don't like, and people, you know, some people get in their feelings about opinions, but what I don't understand is, in sports car or in the sports world, people shit on other players all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's what's weird. Like, hey, they praise LeBron, they praise Kobe, they praise Luka, they praise Curry, but then they also tell you what players suck right away, and no one goes, "Oh, why are you talking about the player?" Blah, blah,
I mean,
blah.
a lot of people do get in their feelings.
Yeah, but it's
that's why
fandom. The facts are still there. That's the difference. Is real quick. My point was the difference is in sports. They could track it because of stats and numbers. There's no numbers and things you could track on the art on our side, other than if you get a vote up. Other than that, there's another way.
Yeah,
to track
it's all about how it's subjective, right? It's all about what you prefer in artwork. It's a different world, and it you know, as long as the critique is like, as long as we can understand, like we can all understand like the critique, then yeah, it's valid, right? Like if it's something that sounds like you're just making up excuses to say that you don't like it, well, it's cool. Like, it's not for you. It's not for you. Like, it is what it is. But
I know I missed
different cultures too. Like the art world compared to like a sports card culture, like different.
The last thing I'll say on that note is I'll give you also an example on the music side, right? You guys are old enough to remember when we were younger. When you want to go on and actually buy CDs, I personally wouldn't buy a CD unless I liked half of the album or more, and usually that was at least 6 songs, right? And I use that same concept towards these artists with masterpieces or any set for that matter. If I don't like at least half of your work, or if not half of your work are not bangers, quote unquote, then I can't do it. Personally, if you only have like 1 or 2 good songs, that that to me that's not a complete album. That's more of like singles.
The only CDs that I was buying were blanks so that I could use my BearShare or LimeWire back in the day.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. But hey, we're past the statute of limitations. You know what I'm saying?
That's just more about how you approach the actual hobby, though. Like that's your rules, right? That's the way you curate your collection.
Yeah.
A lot of people, everyone has their own different way of doing it. So like it all depends what your rules are.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm just sharing. Yeah, correct. I'm just sharing how I approach the sets that I do go after. I don't, and that's my rule.
So back to elusive. None of the
Mhm.
pieces we've seen yet impress you at all.
Honestly, no. Yes, no. And by impress you mean again something that I
Connect
would
with
want a
you.
PC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
No,
Okay.
no. But again, I haven't seen all of them, and then I'm also
Yeah.
waiting to see what the actual what the cards look like in hand, like the
Mhm.
quality. And sometimes
How the art transitions to the actual card itself, like looks on the card.
yeah, like a good example is like I remember when X-Men Metal was about to come out. I wasn't really excited about it, other than the fact that they're X-Men characters.
Mhm.
Just the set didn't again, it doesn't resonate with me when I first saw some of the previews too. But then when I saw the Platinum Portraits and then the periodics came out, I was like, whoa! I felt different about it. So I might switch my tune, when certain certain inserts are seen.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Another thing, since you guys, are still gathering some thoughts, I will throw this out. Just because a lot of people, I've made it because of myself. I've always made it public, certain cards that I'm holding. Well, I recently had a sale. Someone reached out to me, and I sold one of the gold border surfers. They offered, yeah, and I was about to do a trade with. Shout out to Obi. I was, there's other people that have been wanting to do trades with me on that card.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I'm gonna say this. I never. Everybody here knows this. I never wanted to sell the card. I wanted to use it to trade into something that I really needed.
Yeah.
But the amount of money that was offered to me, I couldn't say no to. And the person that bought it doesn't have like a Marvel IG like we were just talking about, and they don't want their business out there. I don't think it's anybody that anybody here knows. I mean, maybe Jacob has heard of this person buying up stuff, but it's someone that just came into the market as far as Marvel. And yeah, so I'm down to two guys. I'm definitely sending the other one to get graded, but I'm not selling it. I'm only going to use it because that's my last one, right? Like, because one's PC meaning for pieces that I'm looking for. But yeah, so now unfortunately my trio has been broken up.
That's crazy. Well, congrats.
Yeah, I thought you would never move one of those pieces.
It's a bittersweet. I mean, again, I can't disclose, but if I told you the number, you would have sold it too.
Yeah, we all have a number, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. And I didn't think, I'm gonna be honest, I think where we're at in the hobby, I didn't think anybody was gonna get to my number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then people with money, like you said, just come and slap you across the face, and you're like, oh, okay, fine.
I mean, I've been buying some original art. I mean, you guys know this, and I paid like a pretty large amount of money for the pieces that I bought. And I don't plan on selling them anytime soon. But if somebody tomorrow was like, "Hey, I'll give you 30,000 for that piece," I'd be like, "Well, that kind of changes my life right now." So it's like,
it'd be like, "Congratulations, you got yourself a
piece. You got yourself a new piece. Like, here you go." Life-changing money is a little bit different,
Yeah, it definitely wasn't life-changing money, but it was just something that I had to move. But
yeah, that's something that there's 75 of them out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like you're never going to be able to pick up another one if you really want to. Plus, you still have your two. So
yeah. It hurt, man. It hurt, but same thing with my whole hologram. I moved. I had two, and I wanted a trio of those. Yeah, this was a while back. It wasn't. This is not.
I didn't know you moved that one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I moved it to someone who told me that they had a Gambit hologram and would potentially help me out in the future, and they didn't keep their word, but it happens.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's a bridge burner right there for me.
Yeah, sorry. Well, it is. That's bad, but I'm not gonna throw their name out there and bash them. But I'll just say to your point, that it's just.
I know who it is. It's all right.
Yeah.
Jacob's messy. Look at him.
Yeah.
Don't start up, Jacob. Don't get Elusive started over here.
No, it's good. But there's only a handful of people it could be.
Yeah, I mean, like. Thinking about masterpieces though, like at this point, I'm just excited to see like the cards itself. Like
I think more than anything, even if the set is really expensive, I have my little book of 2018 art that I got from the meetup with Bianchi. I mean, if he puts out a book with all the art, I mean, if I can't afford $900 a box or whatever, I mean, I'll at least pick that up just to be able to appreciate the art,
Yeah, I think it's crazy. Well, that's why I thought it was cool that he's doing the videos and all the process. But man, there's a lot of what's that? There's a Mystique versus who?
Mystique versus Rogue, which
versus
that
Rogue.
could be crazy. I mean, if we just want to speculate on what the art could be and what I'm hoping it is, but it probably won't be. But like, imagine Rogues touching Mystique and they're both like transforming. That shit would be crazy, but probably not. We'll see.
Weapon X versus
the program.
The program. I'm just interested to see a Weapon X card. You know, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited for the Battle Spectre gems in general. I mean, the Doom versus FF4, this Surfer versus Galactus. I mean, those both sound crazy. So,
and there's a lot of new Doom and Surfer collectors out there, so it's gonna get crazy.
Right? It's crazy how that works, huh?
Where those guys all come from?
I don't know. Hey, we're about to find out who the true Doom collectors are, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The true Doom collectors will definitely have the auto version of the BSG. At least.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard too, right?
I didn't know dollar signs equates, collectors.
No, we didn't say
wild.
dollar signs.
Yeah, we don't know what this stuff's gonna sell for. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, if it goes for stupid money and I don't buy it, watch yourself when you talk to me.
Well, I don't know.
Put some respect on that Doom. Hey, good luck with
you're gonna buy one box and you're gonna rip it, no problem.
Go find a Stan Lee. I don't see another one.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
go get those comic cards. There's only one.
Yeah, no, those are special for sure.
Put some respect on them.
Hey, that's a
shout out
special
to
card.
Vintage Lord, dog.
That's a special card.
Yeah, that's coming soon. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Sergio. Sergio,
that's
I don't know,
crazy,
man.
Sergio. They just want to check us now. That's wild, dog. Like, I thought we were repping.
You and Sergio, you guys be throwing a lot of shade about.
Hey, I mean, Sergio, look.
So
I'm gonna say, as far as special pieces, the Jim Lee page that Sergio picked up, that shit is crazy. Like, I love that piece. That's an awesome pickup. Seriously. So,
thank you, man.
The close up of Doom's eye and the mask, it just looks wild.
I'm about to switch to comics if it's like that.
Oh wow, Sergio, you got some competition now, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to hit up Sergio. Pass me the links.
I'll pass you some books myself. You know what I mean?
I'm saying, like,
you gotta help the homies out for sure.
Yeah, man.
You guys, I don't know, man. You guys, definitely not in volume as far as catching up to free, but you guys definitely need to get a copy of that.
Shout out to
that Free. Prototype Doom.
Free don't play, man.
That's
Free's the real, Free's about it,
Yeah. And he's humble, man. We couldn't. He's humble. We couldn't even get him to show a lot of the OA on the mental con, man. He was being shy.
I know, man. He left me hanging. I had to show my shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. What's going on with that, Leo? Come on, bro.
Yeah, Leo, put that in the comments. I want to see why. Why didn't you show that stuff?
Yeah. Jim, are you trying to pick up some OA at some point?
Me?
Yeah.
I want. You know what? I do want a Bianchi piece one day.
Yeah.
Doom Bianchi piece. I don't think it's gonna be anytime soon.
I really like his depiction of Doom, like him specifically. I think he does a very, very cool looking Doom. So
it'll probably be one of the pieces that's already done. They switch hands every now and then, but yeah, that's on the list. And if we ever get like a Bianchi Doom card and whatever set, I'm definitely going after that. As far as like the stuff I'm going for, like masterpieces, I'm down with. The other shit, like the annual stuff, I like seeing it, but I'm not gonna collect it.
Yeah.
If it's a reference to Jack Kirby Dooms, then I'll go back and get some of those. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get excited about something like the annual cards. I mean, it really feels like it's something to just try to bring new, younger collectors into the hobby, right? I mean, you can find blasters at Meyer or whatever now for $10. I saw somebody posting group $10, like they're on sale. So, I mean,
and hopefully, nice.
Nice. I mean, for what it is, they are cool.
Hey, well, now, because I'm sure, we haven't spoken in a while also, Jacob, like, I'm sure you've evolved and changed a little bit of your collecting rules. Like, who are your like top 3 characters now that you're going after? Like, if you do touch anything on the new Masterpiece set, what 3 characters would it be, if any?
X-23, Magic, and Spider-Gwen. Those are the 3 for sure. I think I might just transition into being a Magic collector. I mean, there's a lot of nice pieces out there for Magic, and she's a badass looking character, and I feel like there's a little bit of competition, but bro, like we were saying, there's a lot of new random X-23 collectors and Spider-Man.
Wow, Retro, you hear this, Retro? That's great.
So, I mean, shit's getting harder and harder to find. You know what I mean? So if I was thinking, look, ultimately, if I'm able to lock down a piece from MM that I like for instance, I love the Kitty Pryde painting that he had in the back of his studio when he did the one live. That shit was crazy. If that's not sold and somehow I'm able to get that, hey, I might be a Kitty Pryde collector. I might have to start start picking up some pieces. You know what I mean?
Wow,
But-
Victor, you got some competition.
But you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's just that would be a super special piece to build a collection around. You know what I mean?
And the good thing is, to your point, you do have a lot of X-23 inspired one pieces that are bigger that you could trade into nice Magic pieces.
Yeah,
You know?
sure. If I wanted to do that
But-
or
Yeah.
whatever.
Isn't your girl Misty Knight on the new set? Because
Yo,
also Misty
chill.
Knight.
Just
like,
because I
shout
have
out,
a Misty Knight piece.
shout
you
out
know?
to Arthur. We all know in the
Yeah.
chat that you're a Misty Knight collector on
Yeah.
the low. You know.
Yeah, Arthur's going to be on in a couple weeks, and he's
Yeah,
going to
what-
expose your Misty Knight collection.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I'll say that. So you might as well come up front with.
Look, this one piece does not make me a Misty Knight collector.
That's
Okay.
sick, though. Come on.
I mean,
I mean,
that's
it
the
is
centerpiece
nice.
for most
It is
people's
nice.
collection, right? Is
Yeah,
that fair?
but see,
That's a
I'm
fucking
trying to
grail
level
for
up
most people,
beyond
man.
most people. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow!
Trying to be
okay.
an advanced collector.
You
know
hear
what I'm
this?
saying?
That's great. Advanced collector.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's tiers to being a collector.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
I just
yeah,
thought we were all
yeah.
equals.
That's wild. Okay.
No. Like, I do understand. Like, if somebody was a Misty Knight collector, this prelim would probably be a big piece for them. And hey, if there's a Misty Knight collector out there, shout out. You know, like you can find me another Bianchi piece. We can make it happen. You know what I mean? But
One thing's for sure, Jacob's always wheeling and dealing. You know. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't
well,
play.
the thing was I wanted a prelim from 2018 because I like Bianchi, and it was one that was available amongst a couple others, and I just thought it had the most ink of the three pieces I was
Yep.
able to choose from. So that, and then I have a 2020 Palumbo prelim already. I have the Killmonger prelim, so it's just like being able to get a prelim from each set that had prelims available. That to me is just, you know, I couldn't afford the original art at the time, so that's at least something that is special as well. You know.
I'm trying to check the character list here. Misty Knight's in here.
Oh, I think she is actually. Truthfully,
Is she?
I think so.
So is Misty Knight, because you told us your top three, is it fair to say that?
Oh,
Misty
and maybe
Knight-
she's not.
No, I don't think she is, man.
Is Misty Knight more of a side chick than Jacob? Or
Dodged.
how does that work for your collection?
No. I mean,
That's his
you-
main piece. Everyone else is a side chick. You know?
if we were to look, I mean, there's some more main pieces like that cardboard
okay.
that wooden box back there that we're not allowed to show, but this is definitely the main
alright.
piece. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you promised us an exclusive, man.
No.
messed up.
Hey, you guys
Yeah,
can
yeah.
have the exclusive when I'm allowed to show it. You know what I mean? So
Okay,
Oh.
yeah, I don't want you to get in trouble, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want to
don't
get
do that.
nobody in trouble. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, there's definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of the pieces I have would be centerpieces in people's collections. Not to like, I'm not trying to like brag or nothing, but like I've consolidated down into pieces that I think people would appreciate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think about all this, Sergio? What's going on over there?
I mean, no, I want to see more, you know, because I've heard about it, but I haven't. The Misty Knight's the only one that I've seen, you know. So he's being all secretive, even in like the backstage, you know, like come on, man. Just let me see it, you know.
I mean, my camera's not wanting to focus, but like here's the Palumbo prelim. I can show this. This is on the Instagram. You know.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's nice.
Killmonger.
Yeah, and then like this is just a piece from the Bianchi meetup. I'm pretty sure this might be on my Instagram. Just this is my commission from Bianchi. Like,
Oh, yeah, Scream. Oh.
you know, I don't know if any of you guys follow Sharknage on Instagram or Sharknade, however you say that name, Sharknage. But they have an AP sketch from Bianchi of Scream and an AP sketch of Scream from Palumbo, and I think that's pretty crazy. The guy's clearly a symbiote collector, but yeah, some nice pieces there for sure.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, you guys know one of the one painting I'm paying on that I'm allowed to talk about is Sharky the Bounty Hunter issue number 6 cover from Bianchi. And look, I love Bianchi's work, but I'm gonna have to start, you know, spreading my wings and looking at some other artists because I need to diversify a little bit. So,
okay.
Wow. Yeah.
Diversifying.
I mean, I love Bianchi's work. I mean, honestly, but yeah, I want to appreciate other styles as well. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of artists out there, you know. Like it's just a matter of like, you know, it's kind of like what your taste is, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Jacob likes like the Baskin Robin. He wants all like, you know, 32
31 flavors.
Gotta have all the flavors.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, after seeing your Jim Lee page and finding out that I could afford a piece like that, you know, I mean, even if it's just a page and not a cover, because I mean, I saw covers at New York Comic Con and those were not cheap, you know. But if I could get a page or like a splash page, even for like a couple thousand or whatever, like that to me would be a sweet piece to pick up. If it's like Jim Lee Black Panther piece or something like. I don't know what all he's worked on. You know what I mean? But like characters that I appreciate, if I could get a piece by him, like that to me would be a centerpiece of a collection for sure.
Yeah, I'm over here, man, trying to flip myself into get some away and join your guys' club. You know what I mean? Not all of us could afford away, so I'm just trying to.
It's a fun club to be in, man.
It is, but I also don't want to, just pick up Misty Knights for the sake of Misty Knights. Yeah. I want to pick up a piece of like a character I enjoy, but man, their prices, they ain't giving them away.
Well, you need to start collecting Misty Knight, bro.
Nah, you told me about what some people want for some gambits, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to sell. I ain't trying to sell my house.
You can't be collecting Gambit, Wolverine, and Surfer and expecting shit to be cheap. You know what I mean? And Magneto, like those are popular characters.
I mean, they're not top 5, but I know what you're saying. they're not Scarlet Witch. You know what I mean? They're not.
Shout out to Arthur.
Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen.
Oh, we gotta have Arthur on, man.
For those who don't
know, in the States in a couple of weeks. See, we gotta get him on here.
Yeah, a couple of weeks. Yeah, Arthur. He's for those who don't know, he's goes by Collection Kings. He's heavy Scarlet Witch collector.
Well, shouldn't we start calling him Collection Queens then, since he's collecting the Queen Scarlet Witch?
Victor, wow, they copyrighted your shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it from Victor. You know what I'm saying?
Jacob's.
See,
you about to get roasted by Arthur.
I love Arthur, man. He knows it. Come on now.
I don't know, man. He'd be saying some wild shit when he shows us stuff about his country.
No disrespect.
Look at that dude knows. But we need to.
Those conversations can never go public, No.
Nah, Jacob would get canceled ASAP. You know what I'm saying? But then again,
I look forward to doing this again with Collection Kings.
We gotta have him on his own first, and then we'll give you a chance to rebuttal with him. You know what I mean? But first, you gotta let him clear his chest.
We'll have a top 10 characters debate. This is be like round 5.
Yeah. I don't know how they come up with these characters,
That's a good idea, actually. We got to do an episode like that with Arthur.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Well, guys, anything else you guys want to talk about or that's on your mind before we do shout-outs?
Actually, I'm curious what Sergio thought about the convention and what he thinks about the convention landscape going forward. Is there anything you're looking forward to going to in the near future?
I mean, as of right now, for sure, MegaCon just happened. SuperCon, which is smaller, here just happened, and that's pretty much it as far as I know for.
I know there's going to be the
down here in South Florida anyway.
There's going to be the original art expo up in Orlando in January.
Yeah. You mentioned in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, end of January. I think it's 26th through 28th. I mean, I know a bunch of people are going. I'm probably going to make the trip. It just comes down to what finances are around that time. But I plan on making the trip, I think. So
I think because January to I think the cons usually in April, the MegaCon. So
yeah.
But for sure, man, maybe round 2 instead of doing the SuperCon, maybe do hit up New York City Comic Con or something like that.
Yeah, that could be fun. That's usually in November, right? In the fall.
I'm not sure. As far as that stuff, I know that there's the Dallas Expo, right? There's a couple different type of cons and stuff, but just check out something different, man. Maybe hit the West Coast.
Man. Why don't you hit up San Diego Comic Con? Come on through, guys.
If tickets were even remotely actually accessible to anyone, I would consider it. But it sounds they're impossible to get.
You get all the stuff over there. You don't.
Yeah, he's a local. He should be able to get the tickets. No problem.
He gets the discounts and everything. He can just walk right up to the door.
You have the Super 7 stores and shit. You don't even go. Pick up MF Doom or nothing for the homies.
Well, you gotta let me know, man.
It's wild.
I think
I'm not a mind reader. You know what I'm saying?
With the conventions, I think I want to start going to more conventions because I feel like you got to make connections with the artists if you want to be able to get the private gallery deals. You know what I mean? You got to be friends. So
the art reps.
Yeah. That's what I've been hearing. I'm not in those circles, man. So
I'm not part of any inner circle either. So
I can't hook you up. Otherwise, I would. You know what I mean?
But yeah, no, I do think that meeting artists and just having conversations with them, a lot of them are really humble and nice people, and they really like just talking about their art and like Sergio was talking about, past stories and memories about when they were doing things. And I don't know, that to me is one of the best part of the hobby is connecting with artists and other collectors. So
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's Have you ever heard of Jack Kirby Museum on YouTube?
Yeah.
You know, like for some people that don't know, you know, like fans of Jack Kirby, like all that good stuff. Like, you know, it's cool to hear like those interviews because there's a lot of interviews on there, you know, and it's just audio.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this, so
yeah, like check, you know, if you want to listen to something like, you know, a little different from Jack Kirby love, like interview, like it's cool that it's out there. And it's like, you know, that's, I mean, obviously like, you know, King Kirby being, you know, like the OG, but you know, a lot of these other artist stories don't really get told like that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like those interviews are like the best, you know, like I always like to, even like music artists, right? But especially like visual artists, like getting to see how their mind works and, you know, why they create and how they create. And just even watching like Bianchi interviews, you know, on YouTube, there's a lot of them, like getting to know their influences, right? Who they pattern after and like what kind of makes their visual identity. Like it's always dope to break that down.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. John Beatty mentioned Bianchi and when I was speaking to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you know, he was mentioning that he watches like you know, the reels of Bianchi like doing his live you know, watercolors,
touching and shit. Yeah.
And John said that you know, he's like ripping at this paper and he's like, man, like, you know, Bianchi's gonna rip through the freaking parchment. You know, he's gonna rip through the canvas, and you know, he just never does. You know, he's the maestro. Like,
yeah, it's dope. I mean, Del Auto does some of that too.
So it is cool to hear like, you know, an OG look at some of the new guys and be like, nah, man, that's, you know, that's the guy he's talking about. You know, he didn't mention like another artist, like kind of just in conversation brought up Bianchi, you know, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a fan of that, you know.
When you watch Bianchi paint, dude, he does some wild shit. He breaks out the fucking hair dryer. He's like spitting on it, like fucking. He does some crazy. Yeah, he's like.
Yo, that's what I like. Like he manipulates the paint, like if it's charcoal or pastels, because you do a lot of them and that. But it also gives it that texture.
Yeah, and that's something I feel like you only can learn by doing. Like you don't just watch a YouTube video like, oh yeah, you just do this. Like no, you have to do it over and over and over and over again to really. I mean, he talked about this texture technique where he uses like a sponge, and he said it took him like years and years and years to feel like he finally perfected it to where it looks, you know, how he wants it to look on his paintings. So I mean, just knowing that these people are putting that much effort to master a technique for their paintings is just crazy to me.
Yeah, and what works for some might not work for others, you know. So it's dope how everybody develops their own like technique. To your point on doing either, you know, whether it's a sponge or something else, but everybody has their own way of doing it.
And everyone's known for their own thing, right? I mean, when you look at Jim Lee, I feel like his cross hatching, like he does it like to the craziest degree, right? Where like you can just take anybody and be like, hey, copy this and like do this cross hatching. Like it's just like on another level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people try. I think Steven Segovia takes a nice shot at the Jim Lee. You know,
100%.
Like replicas.
Yeah, Segovia. I mean, there's some Segovia sketch cards out there I've been trying to get a hold of. Man, nobody wants to let those go, and for good reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for those that don't know, Segovia is the one who did the art for that 75th Gold Border Surfer. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hey, if you guys remember, I was at the con, MegaCon. He was there, and I asked him, really? I said, you know, yeah, like here's the chance, bro. You know.
Yeah.
Like, here's the chance.
I thought you you said something about
no. I always bust his balls because if I was him, obviously Elusive has like, you know, a dope collection. He has like multiple cards. At this point, with like all the stuff that you do have and kind of like what the market's doing, just my personal dude, I would sell that shit and get a nice ass like, you know, Segovia piece.
No, for sure. Once I see one that I'm drawn to, I for sure would do that.
Hey, are we trying to convert him right now, Sergio, or what?
I've been trying.
Hey, one thing
we've been trying to.
One thing I definitely want to get off my chest and say before we wrap it up, I definitely want to give a shout out to Retro and True Blue, because I know you guys just did a podcast recently with him. I was away visiting my brother, but you know, shout out to Retro. He's one of the first persons that show us love publicly, and I really appreciate him. He's always kept it real. I've known him for over 2 years now, chatting here and there, but he's one of the few, man, that just no matter what situation is, he just keeps it real and he's always showing love. So shout out to you, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was fun.
It's people like Retro that keep people in the hobby honest, you know, because he just like says it. And you know, it's not a good nor it's a bad thing. It's not a good or bad thing. You know, it's just like observations and like, you know, people say things about us, and you know, that's cool too. Like whatever, it is what it is. Like, at the end of the day, for that like situation we came together, and it was one hobby. You know, it was pretty dope.
Yeah. And another thing, I told this to Doom privately. I'll tell it to you guys now that you're here too, and you more than anybody, Sergio, will know to respect this. Another thing, what I respect about him is he shows true leadership skills, because the fact that he was able to get that many people, right, that don't really usually vibe with each other or have their own cliques for whatever reason, that's what a true leader does. They're able to bring people together and work together. So again, man, that just speaks volumes on.
And hey, I mean, if you were watching the live, he had his Michigan hat on. If he's another fellow Michigander like myself, you know, it's just
True Blue.
You know, they're built a little different, so you know, it's ain't too crazy, you know.
Yeah, and lastly, shout out also to Swami and Melfi. We're definitely gonna get you guys. I know Swami's gonna do an episode of Carts and Coffee coming up as well. And Melfi, I also have to drop the episode I did with Jacob, so we have one already pre-recorded. I need to drop that.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, we gotta catch you off guard every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're always prepared.
Listen, shout out to Melfi, man. Like, you know, I saw his red PMG pool. You know, that was pretty dope. But I've kind of seen. I usually don't watch like box rips. You guys know that, you know, like, but for, you know, for whatever reason, I kind of like caught it in the moment I was available. So I watched him rip, and he got the like gold, the gold one. What is it? Like gold,
the gold,
like the metal card.
Yeah, the metal one. I don't know.
Yeah, the gold metal Gwen. Yeah. I don't know if that was like his case hit. You know, I believe it's a case, and then he got that red. The
red PMG.
Yeah. So shout out to him, man.
And that clean Craven cut that he
today he broke the last 3. You know, people like Sergio was telling him, you know, just crack them all open.
Just rip that shit. You're gonna rip it anyway.
He got a sick cut or what?
He got a sick Craven cut.
For Craven, that's probably the best Craven cut.
What was it? Craven and like the Black Suit Spider-Man? Was a cut like that?
No, it was just a cut where he's all in one panel.
From the shadows,
and the bubble is showing like almost complete.
It was framed perfectly, and it's from his first appearance issue.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's actually really dope. Then
I'm gonna have to check that out.
He also hit like a Spidey. What was it? Like one of the parallels, like the same PMG card but a different color. And I forgot the other. He got a couple hits. He got his money's worth on that case. You know?
Did he? So the last couple boxes came through.
All of them were like, they were pretty good. But yeah, on that note, like, make sure go follow Swami's Discord. You know, if I don't know, Retro hit me the link. Go hit them up. Melfi's on there. True Blue's on there. Those guys are pretty cool, and they hang out and chat sometimes. So I just got on there. I got on Justin's too. And just trying to see what's up. I'm trying to get these guys. Retro, I'm trying to get these guys in there, but
No, I'm gonna go in there.
They're hard-headed,
I just got back. Stop it.
Yeah.
They act like they don't know technology. Like
what is Discord, guys? What is that?
Oh, come on.
I mean, this is the guy who put us onto Discord. Right? If anything.
Jacob lives on Discord.
Hey, I'm an old boomer, man. I don't know what the hell Discord is. What are you talking about?
Oh wow. Okay.
I was born in '93, guys. Technology. You remember flip phones? Yeah, I had one of those.
I had one right now, but I'm just gonna let it go. I'm playing nice today. You know what? I'm being nicer today, man. I'll let you know the one I let slide right now after.
It's just because he came back from like vacay. You know what I mean? He's already
he's real relaxed, chilled out.
You gotta be nice, man.
That fucking 5-hour flight is not relaxed, though. It was annoying as hell.
What do you mean?
Shout out to you
pass
guys,
out?
Man. I passed out on my way there because I was sleepy, so I was able to just knock out 4 out of the 5 hours. But on the way back, I was awake for 4 hours out of the 5.
You didn't drug yourself with gummies, just fucking cookie monsters and gummies.
On the way there, it was a great time. Like I mentioned, on the way back,
did you run out?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's legal over there. So
in Florida?
Yeah.
No, in
Florida. Yeah, in Maryland.
Oh, Maryland.
Oh, you were in Maryland?
Yeah, don't take it there.
Yeah.
Don't take it there for sure.
Any shout out for you guys, Jacob?
I was just gonna say shout out to you guys for having me on here. I mean, I appreciate it. It's always a blast. I love talking to you guys. You guys have always been pretty real with me in the hobby, and it's just look forward to seeing what the rest of the hobby does and what it looks like in the next few months with MM and all these other sets. So
I appreciate it. Hey, we definitely keep it real with each other. We never see eye to eye as far as opinions, but we definitely.
Hey, it's good hearing both sides, right? Like gives you
Well, it's
perspective.
usually our side versus Jacob's side because Jacob always the contrarian, but
that 90s art.
But I appreciate that he just doesn't go with the flow. So keep doing what you're doing, Jacob. Don't even worry about it. How about you, Sergio?
I give my shout out to Melfi, man. That was a good riff for him.
Yeah.
I told him, I gave him the advice. I said, yo, right now it's like that mid range, high range. Like, here's your last chance, bro. Like, if you don't sell that shit like soon, especially with Masterpiece. Like, yep, listen, people are selling a lot of crazy stuff online.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for stuff out there because it kind of shows. I guess people are gonna try to go hard in this stuff, and we'll see how it goes on EPAC.
I think that might, publicly, I'm gonna put that out there. That might be my strategy. Like, hey, I might be sneaking in and picking up whatever you guys are trying to let go. Unless y'all have 2023, you know what I mean? That might be all you guys. No, really. I mean, I think if people are willing to let go of pieces from previous sets for less than what the hits in the next one are going to cost. I mean, with more parallels too. Hey, I'll grab that older stuff for now.
It's a good time.
What about you, dude?
Shout out, man. Just shout out to Alonzo. He hit me up this weekend. We chopped it up for a bit. Shout out to Melfi. Just talking to those guys. And yeah, man. We gotta do more, more videos together. It's a fun time right now.
Yeah, and you brought up that point that it's kind of like at this point, like a lot of people have like what they want, so it's like a chiller like situation. Like no, I mean, I don't think a lot of people are competing out there for like the same cards. Some people already have them.
Yeah,
especially people in the IG hobby. So like yeah, I mean, it kind of seems like we're like chilling, hanging out, and that's what it should be. Shout out to Alonzo. He hit me up. I saw him doing like some little painting stuff. He sent me a little message. He wants to get down on the sesh. So. We got to bring one on for sure. We got to bring one on and light one up.
Shout out to Manu. Answer your DMs, bro. What's going on with that? Nah, he usually gets back to me all the time, but he's been lagging a little bit on this last one.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, guys. Wait, it's always cool to chop it up with you guys, man. Until next time, you guys have a good night.
Peace.
Good night.